Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. I know the entire world is speaking about Leo Messi. He played yesterday's game number 1000 in clubs and national team. Yesterday he scored the first time in knockout stages and he qualified Argentina over Australia to the quarter-final. By consequence, Di Maria and Paredes that didn't play yesterday will go to the quarter-final and we will have to wait for them. We will not speak about Leo Messi today, but we will speak about our beloved Juventus because we know it in all the pages, in all the media, on Twitter, social media. They are all putting us in big trouble. We are already guilty, apparently, according to the mass. So let's try step by step to understand where we are and what they are saying. In that video, I don't know if you want to or not, but we will also already go forward, anticipating the 5 steps of John Elkann for a new Juventus that is not anymore the Juventus of Andrea Agnelli, ex-president of Juve, that's how we have to call him now, but the 5 new steps, how to bring Juventus back, and not only that, answering the question of Mercato, because a lot of people are telling me, Beppe, in the moment of difficulty that we are in, how will Juventus go through that? Will we buy a player in winter? What about the summer Mercato? Who will do it? And that's why I want to answer that. We'll open the Italian pages really fast, really quickly, and then go towards the point that I just mentioned. Before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, super important, and also don't forget to put a maximum of like on the video. We open the first page. Tutto Sport. Tutto Sport is saying Juve via da Torino. Ecco perché Juventus away from Torino. Here is why. So a lot of people that will wake up this morning, they will ask themselves, Beppe, what are you asking? What are Tutto Sport is saying? Is Juventus leaving Italy to play in Bundesliga, in Liga 1, in Premier League because we are already guilty in Italy? Well, no, that's not the case. They are speaking about changing the location to be judged. Where? Because normally it will be Torino, in Torino that judge Juventus. Juventus is asking to be judged in Milano. Why? Because Torino is more specialized in Italian cases, where in Milano they will be able to judge us internationally. As Juventus is a public traded company, that's why Juventus wants to go in Milano to be treated a bit more fair. And that's the page of Tutto Sport. I know that a lot of people, they want Juventus to be out and already in second division. Yesterday there was the game Inter versus Juve, not the first team, not the men, but Juventus women winning 2-0. But I tell you, prepare yourself, Juventini, because yesterday already there were some ultra from Inter that went to that game of the women and they were already singing, enjoying and celebrating. Tornerete in Serie B. You will be back in second division. Guys, I tell you, the moment is hard for Juventini because you will be mocked from the entire world. Wherever you are, from the moment that you are representing Juventus, you are a target. Gazzetta dello Sport, we were not doubting. They put in their front page a Juventus logo that is already broken. How they manipulate the mass without any word, just with some pictures. And Cristiano Ronaldo, because apparently there are some secret papers that Juventus still need to give 20 million euro to Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo asking for this 20 million euro, while Arriva Bene is saying we have nothing anymore to give and to pay to Cristiano Ronaldo. The other page that is going totally crazy since yesterday, Zazzaroni, director of Corriere dello Sport. Yesterday they have to sell Juventus, or they will sell Juventus. Today on Corriere dello Sport you see $1 billion for Juventus. Disaster. They continue with John Elkann on the phone, ready to sell Juventus already. Maybe it will happen, I don't know, but Corriere dello Sport is really pushing. They would be happy that we don't see Vlahovic, that was eliminated with Serbia, with Kostic, and yesterday McKennie eliminated by Netherlands. Well, they can't wait to see Vlahovic going to another country. They don't care if he doesn't stay in Serie A, if it's going to Arsenal or to whatever team, Real Madrid. They are really happy. They want to Juventus to be sold and that we don't exist anymore. Anyway, annus horribilis for Vlahovic in 2022. Disaster year for him, also with Serbia. Even if he scored a goal, it was absolutely not great. Well, Vlahovic, he will be back as soon as possible. He will take a few days off and then will be back in La Continassa, where this morning Bonucci anticipating the trainings of the 6th of December. That's where everyone will start again, or at least the one that are there. Not Vlahovic, not Kostic, not McKennie, but Vlahovic needs to do better in 2023 and probably helped also by Massimiliano Allegri. What is he saying? Scudetto, we don't give up. I don't know really well about the situation in Torino, but we don't give up, absolutely not. Then guys, important is that Juventus continue to work on the renewals. Iling Jr. contract is ready, Mulazzi contract is ready, and then they are also planning to talk with Danilo to renew his contract when he will be back with Brazil. Important one. Then you're telling Beppe, you're speaking about Mercato. Why are you speaking about Mercato? Well, I told you. 5 points for a new Juventus. What are they? The first one is sustainability, a word that we were already using. It's not something new. It's a continuity of the things that we were already doing after Paratici. A new course, sustainability. How? With the use of next-gen players. We were already starting with Miretti, with Fagioli, with Sule, even with Iling Jr. The renewal of the contract with Iling Jr. is absolutely a good example of sustainability. Then, I will explain a bit later why sustainability, but that's the first point. Identity is the second point from Elkann. Why? Identity, Italian core. A lot of people said Juventus without Italian core, it's not the same Juventus. It's more difficult for Juventus to show their DNA because people understand Juventus even more when they were born and raised in Italy. Well, Italian core is the second point. Identity. Then trust, super important, the word trust, because they don't want, or Elkann doesn't want to continue with chaos, and that's why he's trusting and giving continuity to Allegri and Cherubini. We already said it, we repeat it, but not only that. Trust how? To maybe trying to win the trust of the supporters. How? With maybe trying as much as possible to enter Del Piero in the management. Hey, how much or more can you believe in Juventus with Del Piero being there in the management? That's the idea of Elkann. Third point. 4 point, consistency. Continuing with the same DNA of Juventus. We don't want to change. We don't want to be a team that is happy with a draw, with 1 point. No, we want to continue to win. DNA of victory as we always had in our history, continuing with that, and trying immediately this year to win at least a trophy. That was the request of Agnelli to Allegri and Cherubini, but also Elkann, he wants to win already this year. 5th point, women, super important. Yesterday the women, they were treated really bad with all the Inter Ultra fans that they were already singing Tornerete in B, you will go back in B. Well, the women are in the center of the project. Continue to invest and develop the J Women, that is increasing the brand awareness also internationally. Mercato, and that's where we start with Mercato, guys. Continuity at the moment with Cherubini and Allegri. I already told you they will take care of the winter mercato. What will happen in the future, we will see, but at least we are sure that they will continue to talk with each other for the winter mercato. We already changed direction of ideas of mercato before the board of directors leaving. You remember, after Paratici, after the sale of Ronaldo, there was a big change already. Well, we continue in that direction. At the moment for the winter, there will not be any more Higuain, Pjanic or Ronaldo kind of deals. Things that were really big, without negotiation. You go, you buy 90 million, 100 million, 40 million close. That's over. Also, no Kulusevski and Chiesa, nonsense overpaid deals, because today we heard from the interception, the phone calls, that Cherubini was absolutely not happy because these two players were quite similar, not in skills, but at least in where they play the role on the field, but also overpaid. With Kulusevski played only, well, 6 months at Parma, well, 35 plus bonus of 9, it was 44 million euro, 60 million for Federico Chiesa. That was too much for two players that were not able to coexist on the field. That is over. Cautious and long negotiation if needed. Do you remember the Locatelli negotiation? We're taking the summer, the entire summer. Well, we continue with that. If it's needed to lower the request of the club that is selling, we will do it, being really cautious, and then more suited to reality. That was the new course. So in January, will that be able to do it? Well, it will be quite limited, the Mercato. Why? Because first we sell and then we buy. Something that has been said multiple times, but not always shown on the field. Well, now it will be a reality for the winter mercato. If we don't sell, we don't buy. But what is The priority, it's a winger preferably one that can play on both wings, left and right, to give some change to Cuadrado, but also to take care on the left part of the field when needed. And it would be the best thing on earth if it's a loan without obligation to buy. We are all thinking about one name, Male or Mele, whatever you want to call him, a player that can fulfill all these requests. Attenzione, why not more players? First of all, because it will be quite limited and we don't have a lot of players to sell. We will come back on the name that Juventus identified to sell and make some money, but also because we are aware that the team is quite good, but we were penalized a lot by the big injuries that we had in 2022. Hopefully these injuries are gone. Let's see how it will happen in 2023. What is the name on the market? Weston McKennie. Weston McKennie that could even increase his value if USA would go through yesterday with the Netherlands. They didn't. So the summer, what is happening in the summer? Well, continue to develop our own youth. The players that were presented in a meeting and the project Next Gen, Fagioli, Sule, and Miretti, we will continue in that. And that's also why Ealing Jr. will be renewed. A player, but not only him, also Mulazzi, some players that have a future in Juventus. Why continuing with that? Because that's sustainability, decreasing the total cost, reducing these costs. Why? For having some more margin to negotiate a few top players with experience. What are these names? Well, Sergej Milinkovic-Savic is still a reality, so we don't give up for the summer on Milinkovic-Savic, but also Zaniolo, you remember, Italian core, but also him with experience in Serie A, Italian DNA, and so on and so on. Will these two deals be possible for Juventus in the summer? It depends, of course, on the request of Lotito and also from Roma. Will they, yes or no, go with crazy request, 120 million for Sergej and maybe 60 for Zaniolo? We will have to give up. If it's a more realistic one, why not? And also don't forget, the priority will be to replace a lot of players. Alexandro Cuadrado will not be renewed. Rabiot will not be renewed, confirmed again this morning by Nico Schira. 10 million is way too much for Juventus, so no changes. And Paredes will not be renewed his loan, or at least we will not buy him. The option to buy will not be activated by Juventus. So all these players with high salaries like a Ramsey in the past or Paulo Dybala, they will be gone. More opportunities for the youth, and due to the reducing cost, we can go for one or two experienced, better players. That was it for me, guys. A video where we saw the front pages, the 5 points to come back at Juventus, at least under John Elkann, and then Mercato, winter and future summer. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, don't forget, and I will use it as much as I can to put a like on the video. Grazie, forza, Juve.